Alright guys, before we jump into the deck tech, I want to give a big shout out to this guy, Paul Atreides. He's the one that gave me the original idea for this deck. I've tweaked it with my own kind of spin on it, but yeah, big thanks to him. Let's jump right in. Alright, what's up guys? We got a super cool deck we're featuring here today with champions Gangplank and Sejuani. Man, this deck is super fun. I've been having a blast with it. We went 30 and 12 from Plat to Diamond on stream with it, and it's just been performing super well. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So let's run through the deck. We have triple warning shot. This is a great plunder activator combo as well with our other cards. Not much to say about that. Jagged Butcher, this guy is a powerhouse. Just a 1 mana 2/2 is awesome, and then if you manage to activate the plunder, this guy can come out and do some serious damage. One really nice combo you can do with this Jagged Butcher is if you are attacking on turn 2, you can warning shot and then drop your Jagged Butcher, and if they don't have a 1-drop, you open attack on turn 2, and you are 2/5 of the way to your leveled up champions. So that can be a really nice combo. We've got 2 parlays in there. This is a really nice card against aggro. It combos well with our kegs from Gangplank, and it's just a really nice plunder activator. Also helps us get us closer to our champions level up. Black Market Merchant and Pilfered Goods. Now we are still running the Pilfered package, even though this guy got nerfed down to a 2/1 instead of a 2/2. It still feels super strong. You can steal so many things. It just generates so much value. Normally you're dropping this guy and playing Pilfered Goods on the same turn, so it doesn't really matter too much anyway. You're not too sad if this guy dies, because you can play Pilfered Goods at burst speed. You're going to be able to draw the cards at a reduced cost before your opponent can kill him off. Hired Gun, solid 2-drop for Bilgewater. Is a 2/3, so it has a bit more defensive stats. This is really good against elusive units, and it's just a solid 2-drop to round out our curve. We have Make It Rain in here. Now, Make It Rain is just a powerhouse of a card. It is super strong. The only time it can be a little awkward is when we run into a lot of Noxus decks. Things like Crimson Disciple really kind of brick this card, so you have to be careful about playing against Noxus, but overall this card is super good. Let's just activate Plunder as well because it can hit the enemy Nexus. Just a really nice strong card. Pilfer Goods, what is there to say about this card is just insane. Normally you're spending 2 mana to draw 2 from the enemy's deck. We're now drawing from the bottom of the enemy's deck, not the top, so it's a bit weaker against deck buff things like Omen Hawk and Freljord cards. But now we're not actually thinning out the enemy's deck, so they reach their champions quicker. Because we're drawing from the bottom, their champions are going to lie where they're going to lie. So it is a bit of a power shift that way, so we don't have to be worried about facing like Heimerdinger via decks where they really want their champions. We're not really thinning it out, so we're free to pilfer from them. Ruthless Raider. Now this card is amazing. It is a fearsome blocker. It also can kill 2/3s. It matches up really well with Crimson Disciple, Elise, and it has the Overwhelm. So often we're actually sneaking that little 1 or 2 points of Overwhelm damage in to help level up our champions, and this card is really critical for that. It's also really good against Bilgewater, guys. It's going to block a lot of the 1 damage pings. It doesn't die to Vile Feast, it doesn't die to Make It Rain, it doesn't die to Parlay. So it's really nice that it has this tough keyword. It makes it a super strong 2-drop for us. Really like it in the deck. We are running 2 Monkey Idol. Now this card is actually one of the MVPs of the deck. It comes out and it keeps spawning these little 2/1s, and when they die, they deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. So that's activating our Plunder, that's activating our Champions level up, and it's really nice. I did have 3 originally, but I swapped one out for the 3rd Riptide Rex. Yodel Grifter, this card is amazing. It's a 4 mana 3/3, so it's a decent body. We also always get a warning shot off him, which just synergizes with our champions and all our plunder activators. And it's actually, over the course of the game, all these warning shots and little, ticks of damage actually really add up. And this guy is just an amazing card. If the Allegiance procs, which most of the time it does, we get to steal a card from the enemy deck as well. So really strong. We have 2 Zap Spray Fin in here now. Zap is a 2/2 elusive for 4 mana. Zap is a very weak body for the cost, but he provides us some really critical defense against elusive units, and he also often, will draw us Pilfered Goods, Make It Rain, or the card that we need. Using the attune on this guy is actually super critical. So when you're playing him, think about that attune, and you can also use his elusive status to sneak in some face damage and activate your champions level ups and all your other plunder things. So we have Gangplank. Gangplank is just a 5-mana 5/5 with a barrel. Now Gangplank, before he's leveled up, isn't really that strong. He can come down on turn 5, and usually what I use Gangplank for in this deck is I kind of use it as to kind of bait the enemy's removal, and then I'm really relying on Sejuani to close out the game. So Gangplank's just like a solid body, but once he is leveled up, he is quite strong. His ability with the keg just wipes the board pretty cleanly, or at least does a lot of damage to it. And he does have the overwhelm, and he's going to be a 6/6 when he's leveled up, so he is quite nice. He's just a solid body in this deck, and he synergizes really well with all the other cards. Sejuani is the powerhouse card of this deck. She's our win condition most of the time, and she is just amazing, man. And these two share the exact same level up condition, so once you've leveled up Sejuani, you've leveled up Gangplank, vice versa. Really strong 6-drop, just great to swing the board in our favor. She's just an amazing card all around, and once we level her up, we have so many tools to activate her big effect where she freezes the entire board. So you can warning shot at burst speed and just freeze the entire board, and it's just amazing. We have 3 Riptide Rex in here. We always want Riptide Rex for turn 8. This is another powerhouse card. I originally had 2 in, but I put 3 in there because we always want this card in turn 8. And if you can go turn 8 Riptide Rex into turn 9 Riptide Rex, because often we're going to have the warning shots or the plunder activators for that, it's just absolutely insane. So this is our finisher. He comes down and he's going to close out the game. Guys, if you don't have the 3rd Riptide Rex, or maybe you only have one of these and you don't have the shards, you can put something like another Fury of the North in here. 1 or 2 of them, that'll help you close out games with Sejuani and Gangplank's Overwhelm. But I really recommend at minimum having 2 Riptide Rexes, but preferably 3, because you just always want to drop this in turn 8. And we have 1 copy of one of my favorite cards from new expansion, the Dreadway. This thing is actually really strong. It's won me a lot of games. It has a fearsome tag, which don't underestimate this fearsome tag along with Sejuani's level up Frostbite. You can actually sneak this in for 8 damage, and then you can drop this guy, and say you have a barrel from Gangplank, your warning shot is going to be doing 4 damage at burst speed. So it's really strong. Guys, the win condition with this deck is actually chipping down the enemy's health, using all our little tools to slowly kind of whittle down their health, and then just dropping our big mid-range tools like Gangplank Sejuani, Riptide Rex, and ending the game. So I'm going to jump into some gameplay now. Hopefully you guys can learn something, and I encourage everyone to give this deck a go. It's super fun. It's been performing really well for me, and yeah, let's jump in. Alright, let's jump in the game and showcase this deck for you guys. I'm super excited, man. This deck is so much fun to play. Just having Gangplank in a deck and making him work feels so good. I've been trying to make it work for a really long time, and I think this is probably the best deck I've found for him. He just always felt a little off in other decks, but I think he provides just the right amount of support. So we are up against the Shadow Isles Noxus deck. We're looking for our Ruthless Raider, which is very good. Also having the hired gun isn't bad here. We already have a 2-drop, so I would actually consider tossing this hired gun out and looking for parlays, looking for Make It Rain, looking for Jagged Butcher even. I think is a little bit better in this matchup. So we're going to toss all 3 of these and keep our Ruthless Raider. I'm keeping the Ruthless Raider because it matches up well with the Crimson Disciple. And that's pretty much the main reason. We also have the attack on turn 2 so we can block into it if he drops it. So we got the high gun. We don't have a 1-drop unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. He has the Saboteur, which is a little annoying, so that means his open attack next turn is quite good. Now we pull the Jagged Butcher. We're going to have to let this get in here. Now we have a couple of options. We could Warning Shot with the Jagged Butcher, or we could put our hired gun down to make this vulnerable. We want bodies on the board. We could also just merchant and try and draw some really cheap cards from his deck now that he's done his attack. I think I like that line of play a little bit better, do I? Okay, so we get a transfusion. There's the Disciple. So now we can make this Disciple vulnerable, and we can actually use this. Okay. Now we can use this transfusion to kill off this Disciple and save our Toad here. So this matches up very well into this. He's going to block with the Ballista. Our Toad's still okay. We're going to put the Butcher down just as a 2-2 body. Now we got the Make It Rain, which you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Oh, I hope this procs on both the Ballista and the Saboteur, because we want to stop her damage. Excellent. The only better outcome would have been to hit her on this Basilisk Rider as well. But that Make It Rain top deck is super nice. I'm going to block with the 2 health minion, excuse me, because it's going to allow a bit less overwhelm damage to go through. So he's only getting the 4 overwhelm damage in there. And we can just end the round. Now turn 5, we've got to be worried about Kato the Arm. Kato is definitely a strong play for him here. I really want to get this Basilisk Rider off the board though. He's just going to let us go through with both those attacks. And he has the Draven. So we're going to put Gangplank down here. He's got the rear guard. So we do have bodies. It's getting a little bit scary with our health total now. We've got the Grifter. He's going to keep putting bodies down. Hopefully we can grab, nice, another body. He's probably just going to go for the attack here. Now he's got a lot of overwhelm units. A lot of kind of scary stuff to be worried about. Okay, he's going really wide. We just have to let this go through. And he's pretty much out of resources now, guys. So if we can stave off this attack, we'll be looking okay. He challenges the keg for the overwhelm damage. There's honestly not too much we can do about that. Now we probably want to block this here, block this into here, kill the Draven. He's only got 1. What does that put us at? 4. So we could preserve 1 more life by switching these around. And we'll be sitting at 5. Now that doesn't kill the Draven, unfortunately.
Do I look like a patient man?
And we're gonna have our board pretty much wiped. I think if he... yeah, we're gonna have to do it this way. So he should just allow this attack to go through. These aggro matchups could be a little tricky if...
Now we're cooking.
Okay, so he puts it on the ballista for an extra point of overwhelm damage. So it puts us down to 3, which is a little bit awkward. We wipe out Draven. We get a little bit of damage down. Now we'd really... it comes down to the top decks now. Really love to get to next turn so we can drop Rex. Not sure if it's going to be possible. So this attack's fine. I think he shouldn't have blocked this in case he top deck knocks him further. I don't really agree with that play by him. So we put Rex down. And he's on 1. Super frustrating. So he has a chance to top deck one more answer. But we pulled the warning shot anyway, so we're sitting pretty, guys. Rex goes through. Beautiful win. So we match out quite well into the aggro because of how they have a lot of 1 health units. And we can do some really big tempo swings with Make It Rain. And don't underestimate the power of pilfering the aggro decks, guys. Because all their cards are such low cost, we are able to pull out some... sometimes you get like a 1-drop for 0 mana or a 2-drop for 1 mana, and you can just drop them and you get a really wide board, which is super critical against aggro. They're up against Karina Vi. With Vi and Elise, so they are more of a controlly deck. I'm actually going to keep the Pilfer combo here because oftentimes against this deck you draw a couple of their combo pieces. Nice. So if we can draw an Atrocity, draw the Ledros to match with him. Be really nice. So we're just going to pass here. We don't really have a good way to activate any of our plunder cards. Another clutch thing in this matchup, guys, is Sejuani. This is a really awkward hand. Sejuani can come in and frostbite the Ledros. It just makes his Atrocity quite bad. One of the things we have to be aware of is keeping our Nexus health if we can. Try and keep it at 20, so when he drops Ledros, it's a little bit more awkward. Ledros is 9 attack, so he can't just Atrocity and kill us straight away. He needs another card. I'm actually going to pop off here with the Pilfered combo. Sorry about the sound effects, guys. I think they're bugged on the Runeterra end. I've been getting this bug a little bit with a new patch. Sometimes when you go into a game, it wigs out a little bit, and then you it wigs out a little bit, and then you don't get the certain sound effects don't come through. Does he have... so he's got a gotcha. That's fine. So we're gonna pilfer from him. So that's a Ledros I was talking about, guys. Really critical in this matchup. We also got a Thermo, which can be pretty nice. Now, this Ledros being at 8 is really nice as well. Unfortunately, he's attacking on even, so we won't get to attack with Ledros on the same turn that we drop him. But, you know, not the end of the world. Our hand's not looking super full, so we don't have to worry about using any cards. Be careful if you're pilfering, guys. Sometimes your hand will fill up. You'll be at 9 cards, and next turn you will burn one of your cards. You want to try to be using your cards as efficiently as possible. I'm actually going to use the Vile. Am I? This Vile Feast can be really nice to prevent a glimpse. So I'm going to save this Vile Feast for a reactive play rather than proactive play. We also have the Drain if we need it, you know, to heal this one tick of damage up. So like I was saying, it's important to keep that damage up there. Now, in that exact same vein, we want to get his health below 20. Could drop Gangplank here, but it's just really weak to a Vengeance or a Thermo Beam. So I think I like... What do I like here? I like the Monkey Idol. I like getting our champions closer to level ups. I like the chip damage it's going to do to make our Ledros a little bit stronger.
What's that noise?
Hapless Aristocrat comes down, which is completely fine. We're going to bank the 3 spell mana this turn if he chooses to pass. If he wants to glimpse, we have the Vile Feast in response. He's using a 7 mana Thermogenic Beam on this Monkey Idol, so he really doesn't want to see that go off. You'd love to see it, guys. Absolutely love to see it. We're still holding this Vile Feast, ready for the glimpse when it comes down. Now I'm going to drop Gangplank here. Or will I drop Zap? I like dropping Gangplank here because he's only at 6 mana. He doesn't have Vengeance. If he has another Thermo Beam to use on this, so be it. But he's just used the Thermo Beam. So we think the chances of him having that second one are pretty low at this point with the amount of cards he has in his hand. We're going to block the Hapless, try and bait out a glimpse here. Okay, he's not doing it. He kills the Keg. It's completely fine. Now his response could be double Mystic Shot onto Gangplank. Or something like maybe even Get Excited, Vile Feast, but it's definitely 2 cards, right? So he's just going to straight up pass here. So we're at 7, this is the turn before Ledros, this is the turn where we really want to get some chip damage down. He is in Ruination range, so I'm putting him on Vengeance here. I'm quite sure he has it. He's definitely at least running 3 in his deck. So he really doesn't want this Plunder Activator to go off. Okay, it might be the 2-card combo we were talking about. Static Shock. Nice, so we are completely fine with that.
Cowards!
We always want to be careful about Ruination against this deck, guys. We don't want to build our board up too wide. Actually, and save Sejuani for his Ledros turn because we Ledros on 8 next turn. He Sejuani's.
Like a fish in water.
And then we can Sejuani his Ledros on turn 9. So we're going to put Zap down just to help draw our warning shots. Now we can actually use this to do the combo. That's fine, we're going to put down the Raider. And there's consideration to get rid of this at least with the Thermogenic Beam right now. but I think I like waiting. Okay, so it's turn 8. We can warning shot Ledros, which will drop him down to 9. Now he doesn't have a fearsome blocker, guys. He needs a response for this. He's in Ruination. Yeah, he's he's sad for emoting. He's in Ruination range. And he surrendered. There's a quick couple of games in Diamond for you guys. Super fun deck. If you guys want to give it a try, I encourage you. I will pop the deck list in the description box. And that's it, guys. That's it for the deck guide. If you liked the video, please like. If you want to see more of this type of stuff, hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to be streaming with this deck. So if you want to jump into the stream, ask me any questions you have about it. I'll put my stream link in the box below. So jump in. I'm still kind of organizing a schedule for my stream. So I'm moving house in 2 weeks, so I don't want to set anything in stone till then. But guys, I encourage you to pop in, say hi, and I'd love to have a chat with you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.